Hello, money queens and listeners. Welcome to Women Behind the Millions. Let's meet the women behind the millionaires, the women supporting, guiding, celebrating women with their wealth. You will hear from women millionaires, how they got there, what they wish they had known, what got them to be a millionaire, the emotional side, the spiritual side, the practical side of wealth. You'll also get to meet the women behind the scenes helping make it happen. Let's dive into Women Behind the Millions. I am Jessica Weaver, your host, best-selling author of 3 books, wealth advisor, and founder of the Women's Wealth Boutique. Let's start meeting the women.
How do women in finance prepare financially for the holidays and 2026? Well, we have dedicated an entire episode live of Women Behind the Millions to take you behind the scenes. You'll be seeing a lot of different things all throughout tonight. First up, you see a QR code on your screen. That is to jump on our newsletter so you can get all of these behind the scenes tricks, hacks, tips, strategies. You do not want to miss them tonight, and you'll be able to see them all through the next few weeks as we follow up with them. And welcome to a very special holiday edition of Women Behind the Millions. Happy holidays, ladies. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy New Year. I am your host for this evening, Jessica Weaver. And tonight we are bringing you an evening filled with inspiration, insight, and celebration. And of course, some wealthy wisdom from the women of the Wealth Boutique. These women that are building their own money empires, and they are giving you their favorite year-end or New Year strategy, tip, trick. It's going to be a jam-packed schedule tonight. Now, we know that holidays are a moment to reflect, reset, reconnect with what matters most. And we take that to heart here at the Wealth Boutique. We believe that includes your financial confidence, your emotional well-being during these times. We're going to talk about those ladies going through a divorce right now or thinking about it. Holidays can be challenging. And really about the community that you surround yourself with. So let's take a look at how tonight is going to flow. Tonight's lineup is incredible. They are fabulous. They are fierce. They're going to give you powerful tools to end the year strong and to begin 2026, you can thrive financially with clarity, confidence, and some great momentum. You'll be getting some freebies all throughout the night. So have your phones ready for these QR codes because every single guest has an amazing freebie for you. And we're going to be switching already, giving you some incentive here. You can go to this QR code. You can either go onto LinkedIn or Facebook page and comment on our posts there, and you get entered to win a giveaway. Thanks to Golden Hello, who sent us these beautiful Happy Holiday packages. I've been posting about them all over my Instagram at Pink Fix My Money or too. So we will be popping this up all throughout the night. And at 8 o'clock and at 9 o'clock, as we wrap up tonight's special, we'll be announcing the winners. So we will give you some little cues to go over there and post a comment, a question, your favorite holiday memory or tradition, or how you're liking the show so far, any questions for our guests throughout the night, and you will be entered to win. All right, now let's look at who is up for tonight's lineup. Well, in a little bit, you'll be meeting the team at the Wealth Boutique, the incredible ladies, Camry, Sarah, and Stephanie, who are the powerhouse team behind the Wealth Boutique, how we keep our clients moving forward, hospitality, kind of a lost art here in the financial industry. And then at 7:20, we have our creative director and the CEO of Pink Fix Production, Alyssa Goman. She's going to give us some kind of controversial updates for marketing for 2026. At 7:30, we have with us Donna Cates, the divorce diva, navigating holidays and divorce. It can be a complicated time. A lot of women are thinking about it, but they don't want to start anything during the holidays, so they're bottling it all up, and they are like a pressure cooker. January ends up being the month of the most divorce filings. No wonder. We try to get through the holidays, and then we get hit with it afterwards. At 7:45, we have Veronica Rodgers with us, $1 million start to your child. She's going to talk to us about the legacy that keeps on giving, gifting your child $1 million start. How do you do that? What does it entail? I love every bit of it. We have Amanda Stilwell talking at 8 o'clock during one of our giveaways. Again, shout out to Golden Hello. It's not what you have, it's what you keep. It's not the amount of money you see on your statement, it's how much of those dollars do you keep. What is going towards taxes to fees to unnecessary costs? What is the amount of money, the bottom line that you get to keep? At 8:15, we have with us Tanya Cleaver. New year, new you. How can we be bold going into 2026? 8:30, another controversial topic with Caroline Tanis of having an affair on your financial advisor. When do you know you've outgrown that relationship and you are ready to up level your advisor? At 8:45, we have with us Denise Sandkamp, one of our newest advisors at the Wealth Boutique, about female financial fitness. So looking at all areas of your life and how can we apply the same ideology of health and wellness to our money fitness and really getting that money moving and working better for us. Well, before we dive into this incredible lineup, I'm going to give a shout out to our newest project, our newest initiative really at the Wealth Boutique and at Pink Fix Productions is this notion around the next generation. We are very passionate at helping our clients with their children, adult children, grandchildren, sometimes even great grandchildren, with getting them in a better financial start, having that strong, solid foundation. So next year in 2026, we will be doing all sorts of complimentary strategy sessions, power of attorneys for our clients' children. But even for the younger generation, we have a new book coming out, Financial Trendsetters Next Gen. So we'll have 2 trendsetter books coming out in 2026. Well, this is an opportunity for your children to become a published best-selling author and contribute to this book. Not only will they become an author, best-selling author, but they're going to learn about money and how to create their own money narrative and story. That really secure, steady foundation that they can grow from. And they're going to be learning from children at a younger age all the way up till 17. And it's going to take the readers on this journey of wealth creation throughout their life. What I love about this project is then they get to bring this book back to their communities, whether it's to their own schools, colleges, different groups, and be able to share this with those around them. So it's going to become a huge initiative, and there's a QR code if you're curious or you want to sign your child or grandchild up for it. You scan that QR code. What an amazing Christmas gift, might I add, for your child. And well, they will also be on one of these live episodes of Women Behind the Millions to tell their money story. So imagine the confidence of them being able to say it out loud, have it written in a published book. We have a lot of children who are shy signing up for it because, trust me, I was a shy child. When you start to do these things, that confidence booster, it changes things. And I wish I had done something like this when I was younger to kind of beat being that shy, painfully shy, scared, nervous girl or two. So you can scan that code. We'll be popping it up all throughout tonight's show, but it's going to be incredible. And yes, Andy Girl will be part of the Financial Trendsetters Next Gen. Well, before we dive into our first lineup team, I am going to bring to the stage Kelly Wright. She is one of the founders of Golden Hello. Hello, Kelly. Welcome.
Hi, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Thank you so much for supplying these beautiful boxes. I've been posting about the goodies inside of them.
Thank you. We're happy
For
to be
tonight's
here.
episode, I'm going to pop up the QR code again. Golden Hello is an amazing mother-daughter team out of upstate New York who put together packages that we send out to all of our clients, our advisors throughout the year. Kelly, can you tell us a little bit about Golden Hello?
Sure. Hi, ladies. Nice to see you all here tonight. Golden Hello is a company we've been around for almost 7 years now. It's my daughter and I, and we have a small staff of about 6 people on a daily. And then during this time of year, we have quite a few more to help out. But we help business owners, small and large, and professionals create lasting connections with our personalized gifts. So we help employees we help employers with their employees, and we help business owners with their clients. And we show them ways to give personalized gifts that are meaningful and that really help build that relationship. And we have a full 5-step strategy that we offer that we help with our clients. And we really take their hand and walk them through how do you keep your clients, how do you keep your employees happy, have a meaningful connection, have a loyalty between each other, and and how to how to just keep them. So that's what we
Amazing.
do.
Thank you, Kelly. We love supporting another woman-owned business, and that you are a mother-daughter team is even better. And you're kind of in our backyard, but it is they're beautifully done. They come. Everyone always raves about them. It's just a nice surprise, and I think my love language is small gifts. I don't know about you, probably Kelly. It's got to be if you're in this
Yes, it definitely is. Everywhere I go, I bring gifts. Everybody's like, "Oh, she's got gifts again." We don't need gifts. I go, I love giving gifts. I love to give. So
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being on tonight. You're feel free to hang out in the green room backstage if you'd like to. We can bring you back on if you're still here. We're a giveaway, so the first one will be at 8 o'clock. I'll put it back up one more time. Go over to our post, comment what is your favorite gift, maybe your favorite gift ever for the holidays, and then you can enter to win one of our beautiful Happy Holiday boxes from Golden Hello. Awesome. All right. Well, we are going to keep moving and grooving. We have with us the team of the Wealth Boutique. Thank you, Kelly. We will see you in a little
thank
bit.
you. Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. We got Stephanie Canova, we got Camiletta, and we have Sarah Elliott coming on stage. Hello, ladies. How are you tonight?
Hello. Good.
Beautiful. Well, I would love to take a moment to reminisce with you ladies on what were some of our favorite moments of 2025.
Can I go
Anybody?
first?
Yes, Stephanie, go ahead.
Starting here at the Wealth Boutique, it was top. And I think my big aha moment at the Wealth Boutique was at the gala. I was like, this is so inspiring, so empowering, and it just got me more excited to keep learning more and keep working.
Seeing so many powerhouse women coming together, supporting, collaborating, and raising money to get more women into the industry. We raised $5,000 for our Financial Trendsetter Scholarship. We have some money all ready to go, a few thousand ready to go for our 2026. So hopefully we can get that even more than 5,000 as well. That was a fun night. And Amber De La Cruz, her band from Nashville, is always fun. Always a highlight. How about you, Cammie and Sarah? Some highlights.
For me, it was the sales training that we did early February. I love meeting the ladies and, being in a room where we can all brainstorm on what's next, learning how to serve our clients better. It was really great.
Yes. Bringing all of our top ideas to just do the best for our clients. I agree, Cammie. That was nice. That was in what, February? It seems like a different year ago.
And it was intimate, right? It was very intimate. I remember, throughout the night, we're sharing stories, sharing that, the stories that got us to where we are, right? It's nice.
Yes, I do. I like those intimate settings. I'm looking forward to our retreat next year in Newport Beach, Rhode Island. How about you, Sarah? Oh, we can't hear you. Hold on. Are you muted? Muted? You are muted.
There we go. Same here. So we just had a really intimate Clientsgiving a couple weeks ago, and that's such a nice time to spend with the clients, and we get to make some memories. So that was definitely and always is my favorite highlight of the year.
And so Clientsgiving is our cooking class that we do at this gorgeous restaurant that's up high on a hill, overlooks this beautiful park, and we get our hands dirty. We cook. We do not have to do the dishes. I think that's the best part. We prep. They finish the cooking. We sit down. We share a meal together, and just a way to have that family feel of our firm. I'm curious, which part of your roles as the team do you feel most passionate about right now? Where's the passion lighting up? Where are you leaning more into, would you say? I think I have a good idea. Cami?
I like, I'm very passionate about building systems for clothes, right? I really love that because I'm a little like, it has to be done this way, that way. So just, learning myself and then being able to share that with everybody, I love that.
Oh, beautiful. I thought you were going to say estate planning because you have been
Oh,
cranking this
that's of course.
out the last 2 months. I don't know. We probably are going to hit 10, 20 estate plans in the last 2 months or two. How about you, Sarah?
I feel like I'm getting really passionate about the long-term care because I think that I'm in the same situation as a lot of our clients' children are, where their parents are aging, and we've done a lot of work around that this year, and it's great for the children and it's great for our clients as well because they know their parents are taken care of, which is very important.
You're right. I think we can do a better job next year of bringing those adult children into the conversations. We just had one of our new clients in, and she couldn't wait to say, my son's 23, he's in a different state. When can we have a conversation with him? It's like, yeah, it would be great to be able to say to him, I've got this all figured out. You're not going to have to fly in from across the country to find nursing homes for me. And what can I even afford? And then having to put me in a nursing home I can't afford, or that is not to my quality of standard of living, let's say, and get poor care. And then he has that guilt, but you can't afford where you want to go to. And that I'm like, well, that was a big shift for me, from my perspective. That's there. How about you, Stephanie?
I like the financial planning aspect of everything and just figuring out because every situation, every client's different. So I love seeing what you come up with and how you help and just help them build their wealth and help their children, their grandchildren. So I love seeing that side of it.
The generational wealth, which we'll have Veronica Rodgers coming on here in a little bit to talk about that generational wealth. I'm excited for her piece. We talked about what we're passionate about. Where do you see our clients lighting up? Somebody just asked me what makes me excited about my job. And I said, when I see the light switch in our clients' eyes or the prospects' eyes, and they get excited about money again, that's where I get my energy from. Now it's landing. They're not ashamed anymore. They're not scared. They're excited. They have some positive energy, some momentum going. Where do you see it? Because you're all talking to them in different aspects. So I'm curious, where do you see clients lighting up?
I'll go first. I feel like they light up when sometimes like the little things, like the little gifts, we send them or helping them with something minor, but for them it was big and it was like, oh, thank you so much. Like couldn't figure that out. Like our client this morning, she was like, I couldn't figure out the paperwork and she came in and she was like, thank you so much. You guys were going to laugh at me. We're like, no, we just need to get it done. That's it. And we did. And we're good now.
Yes. Yeah. And she felt embarrassed because she was older. Like, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We got you covered. You're right, Stephanie. It's nice to be able to do that for them. How about you, Sarah?
The Roth conversions, when we run those reports and people see the money they can save by converting and just the plan that we can put in place for them, that's where it really gets exciting because nobody wants all their money going to Uncle Sam. So
No, and we've seen from a few $30,000 of savings to $3 million of tax savings. It is wild, and the sooner you do it, the better because you're going to have more flexibility, more leeway with the overall plan too. So you're right, Sarah. Great point. How about you, Cami?
So definitely the educational portion when we do the educational events that we do, I see the clients go, "Oh, I didn't know about that. I didn't know about Irma. I didn't know that if I'm retired and I want to pull $1,000 out, I'm paying 40% in taxes." Just educating them um, makes me feel really good, and I see them like, "Oh my God, I have to go talk to these guys." It's great.
Right. And sometimes it's like, don't shoot the messenger kind of thing, because when
Yeah.
you're talking about, they're angry. Like, they're angry that nobody talked to them about this yet, that their current advisor isn't bringing it up to them, and that they've been doing it wrong. They thought they were doing something good for their retirement. Um, but then it's okay. Now we're educated. We have options. I think that's the biggest thing. You always have a choice. There is always going to be an option to switch it. So it's okay to be angry, but also know there is a silver lining that we can take steps to rewrite it.
Yeah.
what do you think we have in store for 2026? Looking forward, ladies. We did some reminiscing. What do we see for 2026? We got some big things coming up. 2026. We'll be doing be virtual, but we're doing another sales training for advisors, but it's going to be focused on hospitality. Kelly Wright, who was just on, she'll be popping back on to educate us on the art of gifting, we'll say. Forward too. What are you guys excited for next year?
I'm excited for the book, the kids' book. I'm going to try to get my daughter to do it because I mentioned it to you guys before. She's a great writer, so I really want her to do it. I just got to talk her into it because she's very shy.
Make it a Christmas gift, yeah. Another QR code. You can sign your child up. Shameless plug for the next gen. It's going to be just an amazing experience for all of us, for even me, because it's hard to know how to talk to children about money because we don't know where their heads are. So we need to meet them where they're at, and then see, what is their perspective, what is their story right now, and how can we give them a strong narrative as that backbone to go through life with. Thank you. Cammy, Sarah, any last thoughts for 2026?
I'm excited about this retreat.
The retreat this fall, 2026 fall, we will be bringing our advisors together, and again, that intimate way.
Yeah.
That I love. Yes. How about you, Sarah?
I'm excited for the education. I love that we do the seminars at the library, so really excited to keep educating and being in the community.
Beautiful. Amazing. Well, thank you, ladies, so much for joining us and giving a little behind the scenes look at the Wealth Boutique and this powerhouse team. You ask me, hey, how we do it? I don't do it. It's because of you, ladies. It's because of you. This is so amazing. All right. As we switch gears here, you can go ahead and post a comment. What was your favorite part of our conversation with the team at the Wealth Boutique? You can go on LinkedIn or Facebook. We'll be monitoring it. And in a little bit at 8 o'clock, we'll be announcing our winners. And with that, we are going to be bringing to stage the creative director of the Wealth Boutique, the CEO of Pink Fix Productions, Alyssa Goman.
Me.
Beautiful backdrop, this beautiful bow. Sarah Elliott could not believe how beautiful it was. Number 2, welcome Alyssa back to Women Behind the Millions. You have amazing marketing insights for us.
I do. So you and I were talking about this. I feel like we've been talking about this all year long, right? But really, you were like, "Oh, pull out your top 3," and I was like, "Oh, this is tough." Okay, so I think one, we talk a lot about this at Pink Fix, but the use of AI, and all of our Pink Fix books, we have like a no AI policy for the books themselves. So I think that's incredibly important. But with the use of AI, I think going forward, you're going to see a huge spike in using AI with authenticity, right? Not just being like, hey, I want to sell something for $20. Can you put together a PDF for me? But really building in your ideas into creating something incredible that will, run with your audience, right? It's going to match their energy. The second thing I definitely see coming in 2026 is social media is on the decline. You tell me something? No,
No, I'm just agreeing.
Yeah.
I've been hearing this everywhere.
Yes. So actually, just today in Australia, there is a new ban in effect that users under age 16 aren't allowed to have accounts. So that's big in and of itself. But I think in general, the AI climate, or not the AI, the social media climate is just shifting, right? From what we see to who's actually getting views and traction there, and the way the consumer is using social media and talking with people. And then the third thing that I see is people are, when you're building products, when you're looking at things and how you work with your clients, you're building them in a way that you want them to take action and use the product. So again, you're not just building things to build things. It's not just like, oh, it's a good idea, and then you build something. But you really think through that end stage usability of it, and your clients are getting real results, right? Gone are the days of the easy throwing up a $9 PDF and everyone buys it, right? Like you want that real engagement and that real usage. And then I think too, kind of going along with the social media aspect, you're going to see a lot more in-person events and interactions. Just like we talked about, right? With our retreats, we have a lot of upcoming in-person events, but you're going to see that more of a community aspect built in to the things that you're doing, because people are, again, now that, we're post-pandemic, everyone's coming back out of their shell and really moving forward. So
Yes, beautiful. I've heard this too, the in-person networking as well, not being kind of hidden behind the computer screen, but getting out there and being intentional. So being intentional, being in the right rooms,
yes,
that, we can't expect we're going to show up once and they're going to refer people to us. But when you do get referrals, are they the right referrals? Are they qualified people for you to work with? And being very intentional with who you're spending your time with, giving and not expecting it back.
yeah,
But also saying, giving. Say, can you do me a favor? And what's one thing that you are trying to do more of next year? Maybe it's more speaking engagements, more centers of influence, like connecting me with other professional people, asking, could you connect me with somebody? So I'm not trying to convert that person, but who do they know that might be great for you to work with? So I agree with you 100%. That in-person feeling, you can't replace that energy.
yeah. It's all about real relationships, right? Even again with the AI stuff, with the selling, you need that real connection, to go forward. So
Yes, 100%. Amazing. So more authentic when you're using AI, more usable items. And what's interesting, we've been having a lot of the conversations about what worked for you, like post-pandemic, those early years after, probably is not going to work for you now. People aren't going on social media for the same reasons. They don't have all this money that they haven't been spending that they want to spend. The coaching world is very different as well. They want like tangible pieces for their money.
Yeah.
I do. Well, what are you excited for 2026?
Oh my gosh, so much. We talked about this year. I was supposed to be writing a book this year, and we did so much stuff with Pink Fix, all of this nice wall we have now, of all the books, right? And we have there's another TV show coming out in January. So excited for that. She just started taping this week, and that's going to be incredible. But we have so many things in the works, and again, like, I just love working with all these thought leaders and seeing where their heart is leading them, bringing that up. So yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it, Alyssa. Any last comments for our viewers tonight?
You can use my QR code and get a free
meditation. It's a beautiful, beautiful meditation and some journal work that Alyssa's put together. And I've done it personally. It's great. You want to tell us a little bit about the heart healing? We even talk about that.
Yeah. So in addition to doing Pink Fix work and the marketing at the Wealth Boutique, I just was certified as a master heart healing practitioner, which is amazing. And heart healing is, it's just like a deep working of your inner child. You can go back into past lives if you'd like, ancestral, generational trauma. We dig into all of it. But sessions are about an hour long, and you get quick, real results. And I have done heart healing for years as a user of the technique, and to now be giving that gift to other people is incredible. It really is a huge part of my own heart. And it's to see where it's taking clients to is just, I love it. Like, it's, again, mind-blowing to me, the work that everyone has been doing. So
yeah, I do it with you. I always have a breakthrough afterwards. I always have a good month afterwards.
Yeah.
The healing, and it's just a journey. We're never done healing.
Yeah.
It's a journey. It's an evolution that keeps on going. So thank you for taking that initiative and running with it. It's been beautiful. And you bringing it into the Wealth Boutique with our advisors and our clients too.
Yeah.
When they need it most as well. All right. Well, thank you, Alyssa. We're going to bring up, she was last, but we're going to bring up now Denise Sandkamp. We're going to be bringing you on. Thank you so much, Alyssa, for being on here. We're doing another shout out. Go ahead and post a comment. What is your favorite holiday tradition onto the post here? And you can get entered to raffle for one of the beautiful, beautiful boxes. All right, we are back. Here we go. Hello, Denise. How are you?
Hi, Jessica. Ho, ho, ho from Winter Wonderland, Miami.
I love it. It looks like a beautiful backdrop you have there. Denise is one of our newest advisors here at the Wealth Boutique from Miami. She has quite a story. I mean, we got to get your full book out there, Denise.
I know.
We
I
really do. But tell us about financial fitness.
So, female financial fitness, really, I created it, and I'm so happy that I found you through the journey to fight something that I call female financial inertia. And I was observing it through the years that I worked at American Express and Citibank, and with my female clients, co-workers, friends, that there really is a high percentage of women that don't know what to do with their money. They're scared to lose money. They don't think they can trust anybody. And then usually they don't do anything. They completely miss out on building wealth, or they delegate it to a male family member. And it's just something that I wanted to switch around and create a movement. And to fight this female financial inertia, I created female financial fitness. And it really leads, like everything in the Wealth Boutique, with education, right? And that education then empowers women to really be energized and take control of their finances, get excited about it, right? And start to participate. But we all know when women start to really build wealth and be smarter with their financials, everybody will win, right?
Oh, amen. Yes. And it can tear marriages apart when it's all on one of the spouses, or it's just a lot of pressure on that one. Or, and we have coming up next on a case with divorce, then they go through divorce and it's all on them, or their spouse passes away and it's all on them. And it can just feel so overwhelming when they have to learn it all at once, drinking from a fire hose. So what are some steps that you do with women to get them onto this financial fitness track?
So again, it starts with education, and I take them through a signature CrossFit program, right, instead of CrossFit. So it's 3 rounds, not of burpees and push-ups, but really a round just on basic financial world, financial strategy, and then in the end, does a sound and complete, solid financial plan consists of, right? And then with that, starting to step into the space of becoming a trusted partner for women, right? Because most of them are very suspicious. When it comes to the financial world, they might not have a good experience with their husbands or ex-husbands or other financial advisors. So really for them to see, that it's not so hard. We can understand it, we can participate in the financial world, and there are people who listen, who understand, and who can really help and be a trusted partner.
Yes, I love that. How about, do you feel this momentum of women wanting to build wealth together and having more of a collaboration, a community approach?
Yes, I absolutely think it's a movement, actually. It's really a movement of women coming together, right? And helping each other, supporting each other. And I love our collab calls that we have every Thursday, when we exchange really best practices and brainstorm and strategize together. And it just encourages. I think we get encouraged by stories, clients who really were able to turn their financial trajectory around, and we can share them with our clients and show them that they can do the same.
Yes, exactly. That we can turn it around. It's the sisterhood that we are building. That is so beautiful.
That's my tagline, where strategy meets sisterhood.
Strategy meets sisterhood. Oh, I love that. I love that, Denise. We are taking that. You better trademark that now. That is great. Strategy to sisterhood. What brought you into the industry, Denise? What drew you
So, honestly, when I came out of college, I wanted to go into tourism
in?
and into the hospitality industry. And at that time, I had an offer from Intercontinental Hotels for an international role. I was working back by now, maybe everybody heard my German accent. So that was in Frankfurt, Germany. I had an offer from Intercontinental Hotels and an offer from American Express. And then my father and my ex-boyfriend at the time were like, no, you have to go to American Express. But I wanted to go to Intercontinental Hotel. But fast forward, I'm very happy that I went to American Express. That was a great experience. They were the ones who actually brought me to Miami as well. And then from then on, I always stayed in financial services, 15 years with Amex, 10 years with Citi. And now I'm very happy that I can use this to really help people because it's not so obvious in the financial services industry. It doesn't sound so charitable, right? But you can really, the knowledge that I have and gained over the years and experience, I can really use that now to help women who are lost with their finances and their financial future.
Yes, exactly. Being able to use your past experience. And a lot of women who are part of the financial industry, this wasn't their first career, but they're able to use that past experience for what they're doing now. Well, do you have what would be some things that women, as they're watching right now, they want to start building their financial fitness? What could they start doing now, Denise? Give them maybe 2 or 3 things.
So I'd say start to get educated, and then there's many finfluencers, and there's a lot of information, and that will then start. If you try to do it on your own, get overwhelming pretty quickly. So I think really find a trusted partner, right? Ask a friend how they do it, if they can recommend somebody, and find also what works for you, right? There's big firms where it's not so much the boutique approach, and then there's smaller firms like us where we can really take more time and provide this personal shopper boutique experience, right? And then I think the third part really is to take the first step, right? So once you understand and are educated, just start with something, maybe with little, with one instrument. You don't have to like implement a complete financial plan in 1 week, but it's step by step. Right? Whenever it looks overwhelming, just start somewhere.
Yes. We all know about compounding interest with our money, right? Your interest is
Yeah.
now earning interest. There's compounding interest with your behaviors and your habits and those steps.
Very good.
That one little step can now compound out to this huge money empire down the road. But you're right, taking that first initial step. It's interesting you said with finding that trusted partner. We survey, kind of give an assessment to our new clients to, gauge where they're at. And usually they'll be like around that 40, maybe 60% if they're very engaged with their money, but really around that 50%. I've noticed you need somebody, an expert professional, to get you over that hump
Yeah.
to where you really want to go, or you kind of get stuck in this limbo spot where you can't get over that next dollar amount, the next salary amount or asset amount in your account without having that help of somebody else. It really is amazing. Amazing. Well, any last words, Denise? What are you looking forward to for 2026?
First of all, I'm looking forward to the Christmas vacation, to the holidays. And then 2026 really to continuing my career with the Wealth Boutique. It's been so exciting. It's been such a journey, and I'm just getting started, honestly, right? Am I the latest addition to your team? I think I was, right?
Yes. Yep. You were the newest addition, Denise, and we are so excited and grateful to have you here. Want to share what is your favorite holiday tradition as we wrap up?
So my favorite holiday tradition really is on the 20th in Germany. We celebrate Christmas on the 24th. And it's just taking the kids to church, everybody, and then coming home. And in Germany, it's the little baby Jesus. It's not Santa Claus. So when we come home, basically, the little baby Jesus was there and left the presents. They're already like 19 and 14, but it's
How beautiful. That is amazing. Thank you for sharing that tradition. Denise, thank you for being on our live edition of Women Behind the Millions Holiday Edition. There's a QR code. What's on the QR code, Denise? What can the women find when they scan that?
So QR code leads them to my homepage, which is f55femalefinancialfitness.com. And there they can basically get a free financial fitness, my CrossFin, signature CrossFin class.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much for giving that out to all of our watchers. And as we get ready for our next guest, Donna Case, we're going to do one more shout out here. You can scan that code, post your favorite holiday tradition, and then at 8 o'clock in a little bit, we will be doing that raffle. All right. Up next, we have with us Donna Cates, the divorce diva, popping on here. Hello, Donna. How are you tonight?
I am fabulous, and Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas. Oh. All right. Well, you're coming on to talk about a very serious topic for the holiday season, navigating the holidays and divorce. So often holidays, you see that Hallmark movie, right? The family under the Christmas tree, exchanging gifts, joy, reflection. But for women going through a divorce, it's very different. What are some of the emotions that tend to surface at this time of the year for them?
You're absolutely right about it being different, and the holidays can be a really incredibly tender time for women that are navigating divorce and the aftermath of it. And the reason for that, we've got traditions that are shifting. You just asked about the tradition a moment ago. So those shift. The budget feels strained. And the silence in the house for a lot of moms can feel louder than it's ever felt before. And I want women to know that they're not alone. You know, this is a season where grief and uncertainty and even guilt can rise up, and that's normal for you. Don't resist it. But I've walked beside countless women through this time, and together we found that, you know, if we can find ways to ground ourselves and center ourselves with peace, purpose, and clarity, we can get through the holidays.
I like the peace. What was the other one?
Purpose.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. And you're right. The traditions are shifting. And then that guilt. I want 2 different households this year. I want to give my kids the best, perfect Christmas. And then that pressure that they put on themselves can be so much. You mentioned the budget too, feeling strained. So when the money and the emotions are intertwined with the holidays, how do you manage this?
A divorce is literally going to change the way you experience holidays on every level. Emotionally, you might be mourning those old traditions or just adjusting to the co-parenting schedule that we're having to deal with. But financially, you may be living on just one income when before, you know, you might have had 2. You're splitting expenses or facing a budget that's just not going to stretch as far as it did before. So when emotions are actually swirling, it's easy to let those emotions drive your financial choices, and overspending becomes a coping mechanism for a lot of women. And suddenly the stress is going to multiply. It may not hit until January when you get those credit card bills, but it does hit. And this is where you have to really give yourself some compassion and grace and plan to make things work the way you want them to.
So you talk about money traps during this time with the holidays. Is that one of them where you're kind of that retail therapy that we talk about a lot?
Yeah, absolutely. And there's actually, I've got 3 big traps that I see over and over again. The first one is the gift guilt trap. So this is where parents are trying to buy away the pain with bigger gifts. But love isn't measured in dollars. We have to remember that. And overspending only deepens that financial pressure for you. The second trap that I see is the keeping up trap. And this is where you're comparing what your ex-spouse is doing for your kids versus what you can do. And even their friends, you know, how they're celebrating. And this comparison, you know, the unfortunate thing about the comparison is that it's going to steal both the joy and the cash flow. But then the biggest, the just this one time myth, that's another big one, because we'll say, well, this is the first Christmas we've been divorced. This is the first time I'm going to spend, I'm going to do as much as I can. and then that'll be all. That'll be it. But that's how those financial hangovers begin. So I ask women to consider, rather than buying a lot of stuff and spending a lot of money, to rather give meaningful gifts, simplify, and build a realistic budget for everyone. And knowing that budgeting isn't a restriction, you're basically protecting yourself. But the biggest thing that I want to share is that the best gift that you can give to your family is your presence, being there in the moment. That's what your children will remember. The gifts are great, but they're going to remember the experience and you being there.
Yes. Amen. Yeah, they don't want a stressed out mom. They would rather you taking the time to just be with them and maybe create some new traditions that don't cost money, like driving around to seeing the lights. We do that every year. We make some hot chocolate, we put our pajamas on, and we drive around to see our favorite houses each year.
We did that ourselves, yes.
Exactly. How about, we got to take care of ourselves. What are some practical self-care, financial care for them during the holidays that they can be doing?
One of the things that I think is most helpful is if you can start creating new traditions for your family, doing something like what you just described, going out and seeing the holiday lights and having the special, time with your family. Maybe a gratitude jar. We suggest starting that at Thanksgiving, but it's not too late. Create a gratitude jar where you're each pulling out something every day to recognize what you're grateful for. But those new traditions are going to actually help build emotional stability, and they're usually inexpensive. Another thing that's really helpful is for the co-parents to communicate early. None of the last minute stress and schedule changes and, who's going to be where, but to have, communicate in advance what the schedule is going to be, financial responsibilities are, and then you're avoiding those last minute stressors, those surprises. And the other thing that I want to say is we need to be careful not to be resentful when our kids are spending time with their other parent. So a lot of times we're kind of down in the dumps because we're here by ourselves while they're off over there doing their thing. But you have to remember that that's their dad or their mom as well, and they deserve to celebrate with both parents. And then lastly, just setting good emotional and financial boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
That could even mean saying no when people ask you to participate or invite you to things and you just don't have the financial, situation covered, or you just don't have the time to it. They're well-meaning invitations, but it is okay for you to say no and not to stretch yourself too thin.
Oh, good. Thank you for saying that.
Mhm.
It's so important. You touched on the gratitude jar, which is a great idea. I was even saying this to my son the other night. I'm like, instead of keep saying gimme, 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 like, what are we grateful for? Really, let's get grounded here. It's not the season of just giving, 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 giving nonstop. It's, receiving, getting. It's giving to others and being grateful for what we have. How can people use gratitude to help make better financial decisions?
The reality is gratitude is an emotional anchor. So when you take a minute and you focus on, the things that are still yours, like you still have your own strength, you have your own voice, you have your own future to plan. Now you're shifting yourself out of that scarcity mode, and being grateful for what you do have just opens up the opportunity for more things to come to you. And I find, especially when your emotions are grounded, we're far less likely to overspend and do those comparisons, and just we're making, not making as many reactive financial decisions. So bottom line is that gratitude is actually supporting clarity, and clarity supports wise money choices.
Ooh, I like that. Wise money choices. At
Mhm.
what point, let's fast forward, like what point should they start thinking about engaging with a certified divorce financial analyst, a money expert? Is it when they're just thinking about divorce, when they've already hired the attorney? What would you recommend, Donna?
I will tell you the best time to hire someone like me as a CDFA is when you first start thinking about divorce. Because soon as you say the D word, financial information may start disappearing. You may not have as much access to information. And most people often think of going to their attorney first. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you've already done the financial digging, you're going to be coming to your attorney with being a lot more grounded than you would be if you were just going in blind. So the CDFA is actually helping you, evaluate your expenses and the value of your assets, and aligning your spending with your values. And we can help you with rebuilding your plan. But yeah, there's the best time to hire a CDFA is the minute divorce comes up in your world. That's the best advice I can give.
You're right. You said that things go missing. That is so true. You don't know. And you could say he's not going to do that or she's not going to do that. But when divorce happens, people change, or their true colors come out, we should say.
Right.
So get your information before you start telling the world what's going on, and having kind of that checklist, that scavenger hunt at times for getting the pieces together. All right. Well, as we are wrapping up our time with Donna Case, the divorce diva here, for women watching right now who feel emotionally and financially stretched, what's one message you would give to them, Donna?
I would tell them that divorce may rewrite your holiday story, but it doesn't erase the joy in it. And only you have the power to redefine what this season means for you and to make choices that are rooted in clarity, confidence, and grace. That's what we need to focus on, and only you can decide what that is. But even during change, the future can still shine bright. We can have all our bright, spark, pinkly and red and green stuff, and you are definitely strong, and you will get through this season.
Oh, beautiful. It will not erase the joy. I love that. Now, Donna, you have a QR code here for another amazing free resource. What can the women get when they scan that QR code?
They are actually going to get something that is going out to the women who have purchased my most recent divorce book. They're going to be resources that will help them with pre-planning checklists, handling emotions, and also a post-divorce checklist.
Oh, how amazing. And yes, congratulations on your new book that is now out, available on Amazon. Thank you, Donna, for going into what can be a very, very trying time for a woman going through divorce, thinking about it. And now you're wondering, is this going to be the last time my family is together for the holidays, and giving some amazing, very practical and beautiful tips and strategies and self-care for them as well. Thank you, Donna, so much for joining us tonight on our live edition of Women Behind the Millions. It is great to see you. Thank you so much. Up next, we have with us Veronica Rodgers. But again, comment, what is your new favorite holiday tradition here on our post? You can scan these QR codes. And then in a little bit after Veronica, we will be doing our giveaway. All right, let's bring to stage Veronica Rodgers. Hi, Donna. Hey, Veronica. How are you tonight?
I am well. How are you?
I'm good. I like your sparkle. It is beautiful. You are ready to cheer in the new year. Oh, amazing. I love this notion. I can't wait to talk to you about this. The Gift Your Child $1 million start. You are the legacy queen. That's the divorcee, but you're the legacy queen. You have a book, Illuminate Your Legacy. Tell us about, what is this mission?
Yes, absolutely. As Donna mentioned earlier, we oftentimes, especially during the holiday season, do what we can and we overextend ourselves. And I'm a mom. A lot of parents probably go through this. You work so hard, you make sure things are under the tree for your children. And then maybe 2 months later, you realize they're not playing with everything like you had hoped they would. The excitement of unwrapping presents have passed and so forth. And yet, how much you put forth to put that smile on your child's face. Well, when it comes to the gift legacy planning and think of things like that for your children, I want to encourage people to think about how to do that another way.
Mm.
How do we really set our children up for great success in their future lives, future adulthood? And that's by doing it with $1 million baby plan.
What is $1 million baby plan?
I'm glad you asked.
Tell me more.
Yeah. So, a $1 million baby plan uses structured life insurance to be able to set up a plan for your child or grandchild in a way where you're able to leverage tools and resources that are available to us now with very small amounts of money to save in order to see it grow exponentially after a child's life. Like, think about it. Most children do not have memories about those presents from 0 to 5 years old. So, yes, absolutely still purchase your loved one something small, but the remaining half of that money can go towards $1 million baby plan, leveraged with insurance, starting as low as you may need it to be, $25, $50. It's like a savings account. And it's an intentional savings plan that has no limits in the sense of how it can be used. It can be used for college funding. It can be used to purchase a car. It can be used to make a down payment on your home. Imagine what life would have been like if you had that already set up for you.
Oh my gosh. A game changer. A legacy changer.
Yes.
Legacy changer. Instead of your child walking away from college with a mortgage, they could walk away with a setup for their new life. And they can take over the payments at some point for it too. But you started a new habit, a new asset for them too.
Yes.
What inspired you to connect the season of giving with building that child's financial future? Is it just having too much stuff? I mean, you and I both have young kids. Like the inundation of plastic toys. Can we just that? I'm like, where are these going to go? To waste at a dump somewhere?
And that's really something I began to think about. My youngest is 4, and my husband and I were having that conversation. And it's like, we're changing the course, walking what I preach. It's like, we've got to do something better. And hey, if I'm doing it for myself, I know others can do it for themselves as well. Mm-hmm. Every gift doesn't necessarily have to be unwrapped to be appreciated. It may be delayed gratification because, of course, the kids are not going to really understand right now. But they will when when 16 comes or when 18 comes, 21. You just never know. They will get it. And it's going to be a life changer.
It is going to be a life changer. Yes. Are people, when you're having these conversations, are you blowing their minds? Are they receptive to it? What are their comments?
I think they're still trying to grasp initially, like, this can be done. I can do it. And I'm like, yes. Just because you may not have millions in the bank doesn't mean your children can't have millions. And you can help establish the next generation in a way where you truly have lived and you're leading your legacy in a way to make sure that the next generation and the generation after that are set up for great success. Now, of course, we got to have conversations. Mm-hmm. It's all intentional practices. We're bringing the family together. How do we utilize these resources? But it's resources that many have never thought they could ever set up for themselves before. So ultimately, it's like, just because you may not have millions right now doesn't mean millions can't come from you.
Oh, that is beautiful. That's beautiful. Makes me think of one of my clients. She retired and she got very involved in her church community, and she's like, I would love to donate more money to them, but I need to be financially secure myself. But she was able to write grants for the church. And those grants were $50,000, $60,000. And there were several of them that she was able to bring into the church. So it made me think of, like, even though she couldn't financially give, there were other ways, resources that she was able to do to make an even bigger impact than a few $1,000s from her. For those parents, they can change the narrative for those future generations.
Yes, yes, yes.
Powerful. I mean,
Yeah.
what an amazing lineup already so far tonight. From Denise talking about the financial fitness and women getting empowered to engage with their money again, to Donna going through the divorce. You were talking about setting up the next generation in a much healthier financial way as well. And it's also kind of beautiful because the parents can go and spend all their money in retirement and have fun with it and not worry about what's the next generation going to receive.
Absolutely. Because, yes, as you stated, you definitely can pass the torch along to the child as he or she matures in life. Let them become responsible. They will appreciate it even more because they know, oh, I've already got this plan set up. And so, therefore, the parents and the grandparents know, like, oh, okay, I already have taken care of them. We're all good. Now, let me go enjoy the retirement and just continue off into the sunset.
Oh, beautiful. Well, thank you for sharing this amazing strategy, Veronica. What are you most looking forward to at the holidays?
Just being around family and laughing. I think I got my fill with eating during Thanksgiving. So now it's just a matter of saying, let me appreciate being in the presence of my loved ones.
Oh, that is beautiful. Thank you so much. What is your favorite family tradition?
Always on for Christmas, we meet at my mother's because it's her favorite holiday. So we know where we're going to be, and I'm able to see my nieces and nephews, and we're all together. And essentially, after that, we just literally tell jokes, laugh, and enjoy each other's company. So that's our tradition. We know where we're going to be on Christmas Day.
Do you go in PJs? Because this is what I'm trying to do for my Christmas dinner. So what if we did PJs, everybody? Do you go in PJs or are you dressed up?
We're relaxed.
So
we're
comfy,
relaxed.
but not quite PJs.
Correct.
Okay.
No.
Mm-hmm. I want to be comfy and cozy on the holidays.
I get that. I totally get that.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Veronica, for being on here. There's a QR code that you can scan. What do they get when they scan that QR code, Veronica?
Well, they're coming directly to my website. Connect with me. If you want to learn more about how to set up this plan for your loved ones, reach me on my website, or you can also text the word baby to 804-210-2098, and we'll make sure we have a great conversation.
Baby, you heard it, ladies. Amazing. Thank you so much, Veronica, for being on here. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
We'll see you in a bit. All right, here we go. Go ahead. Last chance to enter before we do our next giveaway for it. All right. Oh, people are still commenting. So we are going to wait until the end to do these giveaways. So keep commenting as well. All right. Up next, we have with us Amanda Stilwell here on stage. Hello, Amanda. Happy holidays. Oop, I think you are on mute. You were still on mute.
It's the little things that challenge me. Hi. Yes, I was on mute. I was
tonight.
I was on mute. I'm very obedient. What a great show this has been so far. I've loved everybody's comments
Thank you. Everybody, strong presentations, and you have a very hot topic. Coming on here. It's not what you have, it's what you keep.
Yes.
And I have been under this initiative of we need to start calling taxes fees.
Yeah, I do.
Call what it is. It is a cost to your money. It is a fee. So talk to us about this notion of it's not what you have, it's what you keep, and where did it come from?
Well, I mean, let's be honest. We are told if we're responsible people and we're thinking about downfield retirement, that day when or refinement, as you like to call it, or I love to call it life after work, right? We know that's going to cost money. And most of us have put our head down, gone to work, saved money. We were told to max our 401ks, tax deferred money. And ultimately, that's what people do, right? I mean, if they're really trying hard to set their family up well for retirement or just themselves, but they're actually just kicking that tax calculation can down the road. And they don't realize that. I have spent the last month with clients doing year-end paperwork, basically doing Roth conversions and tax transition strategies. These are people with a lot of money, and they cannot access it without significant tax because they were told to save, and that's what they did, but they never understood the type of money they were saving. And so I think at the end of the day, when I stand up and I educate people on it's not what you have, it's what you keep, my question is, how many of you saved your money to look at it on a computer screen or on a piece of paper?
On a statement.
I mean, right? Ultimately, the goal is let's draw that money out and use it in our lifestyle, right? So if that's my goal, how is that dollar treated? Who's involved in it? How much of it comes to me? How much of it comes to Uncle Sam? And at what type of rate? And that depends on what type of money. So what I love to be able to do is provide clients with a very high income and a very low tax bracket. And it's possible and it's legal. It's all about navigating the brackets, what I call managing the brackets. So that's what we do.
Yeah, because they're doing what they were told to do. I thought I was being responsible. I got a job. I shuffled money into my 401k. All these years, I have $1 million, $2 million, $3 million set up in there. And then there's these booby traps that are coming out and retirement. And everyone said all along, well, you're going to be in a lower tax bracket when you're in retirement. Is that what you find, Amanda?
No. And I mean, it's laughable, literally, when I say how many of you in this room, and I'm doing an educational seminar, even with a client or prospect, how many of you were told that you were going to be in a lower tax bracket? And I know for a fact, if they're laughing, they have a problem because that's what they were told. And now all of these things are happening to them, right? Like you said, booby traps. They're going through life. They used to get one paycheck. Now they're drawing off of these accounts, each of which has a different tax impact and dominoes, all based on that distribution, such as Medicare increased premiums, increased capital gain, net investment tax. All of these things, like you said, are fees, right? We did the right thing and, kick in the stomach. Thanks, you did it too good. That's kind of
too much money.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, some people would say, oh, well, at least they have money. These are people who've worked. This is not, gifted money, inherited money. This is money that people have saved every day, every week, every year during their working career. And now it's time to draw off of it. And they have no idea how their income is higher than it was because of the laws we face currently.
Yes. It was almost like the government laughing at us. Well, you were going to give them this account.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to get a lot more money. And when I look at the numbers, it's similar to when you look at a mortgage and the amount of interest payments that you will pay. And you're like, how am I paying more in interest than my house is worth?
Yes.
That's what ends up happening with you. You pay more in taxes than what your account is worth right now.
That's right.
Over a 30-year period.
That's right.
Amanda, what is the difference as people are watching between accumulation phase versus distribution phase?
Oh my gosh, so different. Both are sectors of financial services, right? And both are awesome to live in, but they're very different. The accumulation is when you're climbing the mountain, you're saving, right? You're preparing for that life after work time period. But you should also, it's not just about how much money, but what type of money, where that money, what type of account it's in, all the things, making sure you're very well diversified. But it's really about the balance and what type of asset it is, right? That's the accumulation. It's growth mode, right? And then down, the distribution phase is completely different. Now we're having to navigate Medicare over brackets, like I mentioned, increased premiums. We're having to navigate capital gains, required minimum distribution, Social Security taxation. Oh, wait, I thought Social Security wasn't taxable anymore. No, just a standard deduction of an increase. People just don't understand. And it's like boom, 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 all of these things happening to them. So it really is navigating, or I call it retirement tour guide. We're trying to, as you said, booby trap, we're trying to get around these things from happening to our clients, educating them on why the plan is necessary, but then helping them get down the mountain, that distribution phase, very, very safely with a strong legacy intact, if that's their choice.
It can be scary coming down the mountain. I'm a
Or
snowboarder. It can be scary.
It's a really good metaphor, because more accidents happen when mountain climbers are coming down than when they're going up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sure. And you're more tired. You're more tired. More can go wrong. There's more to lose as well for it. You have this fun saying, from paychecks to playchecks.
Yeah, that's a Tom Hagna saying, right? And he has a great book, but it's about doing that. It's about understanding, okay, I work for someone or am working for myself, but I am receiving money from work that I'm doing. And then shifting to, now I'm going to take the money that I choose to do what I choose, right? It's just a really cool mind shift. It takes people a while to really understand that it's okay to spend the money. It's not just for saving. But once they make that turn, it's so awesome to watch people really enjoy the money that they've saved, be just lighter. And I've heard a lot of people say peaceful, just understanding where the money is going to come from, how it's going to come, and what kind of impact it's going to have on them.
Yes, because it's such a mindset shift. We're told from a very young age, I need a paycheck to survive, to put a roof over my head, food on the table. Now you're telling me no more paycheck. I have to now know how much to take out of this account, not take too much, and I'm going to run out of money, right? How do I perfectly do that? And it's very overwhelming to try to figure that out on your own.
It is. It really is.
Lord, too. Well, thank you so much, Amanda, for coming on here talking to us about it's not what you have, it's what you keep, because you do retire with a partner, Uncle Sam.
Yes, sir.
He's your retirement buddy, whether you like it or not. How do we shift more assets? And just piggybacking off of Veronica, we were talking about legacy, right? So it's also that legacy of passing down. Do you want to be able to pass down more assets to your children or to taxes?
That's right. And the type of money that's inherited is going to either be a blessing or a burden.
A burden. Yep. Exactly. Beautiful, Amanda. Thank you so much. What is your favorite thing of the holidays?
Oh my gosh, just having all my people together. My children are all adults, so when they're all home, it just makes your mama feel whole, I guess.
What's your favorite tradition as a family that you do?
Well, it's funny you said that, because my favorite tradition is when we all come down the hall on Christmas morning. We've done that since forever. This is the first Christmas, though, that my oldest son purchased a home, and so he's somewhere else. All three of my children are out of college and living on their own. So I can't decide, do I need to just let that go and create a new tradition, or do I bribe them?
Bribery works very well.
I don't know.
When you're talking about that, because we all have that memory of coming down the steps, turning the corner, and just like my eyes go bug-eye, like, and my mom or my dad would film it. And we gifted my mother, one of our clients, she doesn't do the business anymore, but she was able to take those old cassettes and digitize them.
Oh, nice.
So I was in labor with Mikey before Christmas, and my dad sends me that video. And I could hear my grandmother, who passed away when I was in high school. I could hear my grandmother's voice. And she was laughing as we came running down the steps, and to see that. So your children will keep that in their hearts forever. And here I was, very hormonal, sobbing, but it was such a special moment. And then he didn't come, fortunately, until after Christmas for two, but it was just that moment. So that is a very ingrained memory for your children. And it's probably one that they're going to recreate with their children.
I hope so.
Your grandchildren in futures to come. Well, thank you so much, Amanda, for being on here and sharing your beautiful wisdom with
Yes.
our ladies. What a
Of course.
powerful segment to our show. All right, here we go. We are transitioning to our next guest coming in from Texas. We have Tonyia Cleaver. Hello, Tonyia. How are you tonight?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I am good. We are so much to celebrate. All these amazing women at the Wealth Boutique with all different specialties and niches and expertise. You recently got a new designation. Tell us about it.
So I receive a CEPA, which is Certified Exit Planning Advisor. I help business owners exit and understand how to exit their business, but also create value up until the time they're ready to exit or sell. So I'm excited about that. And in addition to that, one of the other focuses I have with using that designation is to actually help new business owners know how to think about their business, how to make those strategic decisions along the way, so that they're not making these choices at the end. Yeah.
How should they be positioning their businesses and their role in that business all along so that they're building it
Yeah.
properly? Because
Yeah.
most of the time for a business owner, that's their largest asset.
It's about 80% of their assets. Yeah, absolutely. And if it's, yes, and if they're not strategic about it, it's hard to reframe and do that at the 3 to 7 years that you may do leading into it. So if you know how to, look at your business, know whether you're a lifestyle business or a value creator business, some terminology there.
Yes, tell us
know-
about those.
so a lifestyle business is a business where your business is reliant on you, and it's not really transferable. But if you made strategic decisions where where it's not just dependent on you, the owner, but make decisions along the way to build a team out, make decisions about how to put systems and processes in place, so that if somebody came in and knocked on the door and said, "Hey, your type of business actually fits our portfolio. We'd love to talk to you about it." Wouldn't you want to be ready for that? Wouldn't you want to know how much your business is worth and how to do that? And so, yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm excited for the workshops that I'll be doing in 2026 for the owners here in Texas.
Oh, beautiful. Yes, I cannot wait to learn more about it.
Mhm.
And it's when you think of how many of the business owners are baby boomers, right? They are going to be exiting soon. What is that succession plan? Are they
Mhm.
set up properly? And especially if the next gen doesn't want to take it over, which I think is happening
Exactly.
more.
And that happens quite a bit. And so if they don't have those conversations along the way, to learn if that's even something that's even, possible for them, then, you might have built something that your children don't want, but there's still value in it. You can also transfer the, assets or the proceeds from the sale to the next generation. It's just a matter of what do they want to do, and learning how to make those conversations possible along the way.
Yes. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Well, you want to talk about tonight, new year, new you.
Mhm.
So you're going into 26 with this new designation, this new training for it, talking about these
Mhm.
workshops as well. Well, what should the women that you work with, the women that are watching right now, what are some of the smart financial decisions they should make coming into year end and how they can thrive in 2026?
Yeah. So the key part is we're not finished with 2025 yet. So we want to end this year off strong. So take a chance, take a moment and look at, your money reset. Look to see, did you feel aligned with where you wanted to be at by the end of this year? It's an opportunity to say to yourself, hey, certain parts of this aligned with who I am and what I want to do next. But what didn't align is what you want to focus on, and transition into 2026. You want that to be a smooth transition. So just a soft look back at what your money looked like last year or this year, and what do you want it to look like moving forward. And then review your retirement plan. Have you made all the contributions that you want to make? Do you need to make any adjustments going into the new year? And then, if anything feels off, go ahead. It's time. You still have time to rebalance so that you're in position moving into 2026. The other thing that I always encourage my clients to look at, especially because, like you mentioned, a lot of the ladies that I work with are in life transitions, and what that reflects not just retirement or divorce, they may have lost a loved one, but marriage. And then also, my new designation comes into play here. For those that are stepping out of the corporate world and going into entrepreneurship. This is now a time to kind of look and reflect on what you want those things to look like. Put everything in place for yourself. Look at your beneficiaries, paperwork, documents, anything like that that need to be updated or corrected. And especially if you are married, just got married or lost a loved one, or recently divorced, is the person that's on your on the paperwork the right person that you want to transfer this to? So it's an opportunity to just kind of take another look at it. And then if you're like me and a lot of stuff is on autopilot, it's also a time to stop and go, okay, are the things that I put on automatic payment the right things for me right now? Have I paid off anything? Is there any accounts that have been closed? Any adjustments that also need to be made there? In the reverse is also important too. Maybe you don't have something that you should put on automatic payment. It's a way to just kind of make your life a little easier. Go ahead and set those things up today so that moving into the new year, it's one less thing that you have to work with. And then finally, strengthen your safety net. Ground yourself for the new year. Be prepared for that. A lot of things readjust at the first of the year, depending on your income or your income levels. Your FICA could have kicked out, sometime during the year. That'll restart at the beginning. Same thing with your HSA, the contributions that you made to your 401k. If you've maxed out on those will start kicking back in. So you want to make sure that your January cash flow statements for yourself or your budget. Those are accurate and in place. For me, for example, beginning of the year also means new payments for like my HOA annual payment for that kicks in. Anything like that that you might need to just go back in and be prepared for. So it's just a good way to make sure that you're on target and in play for the beginning of the year.
Beautiful. So closing out the year strong. And then you talk about focus on transition, not resolution in 2026. What does this mean?
Well, it's all transition is about transformation. And, so you get an opportunity to transform who you are and what you want to be. And, when I'm working with these ladies, I work with their vision. Where do they see themselves? There's a part of you that had to move on from where you were, but looking forward, what do you want to do? How do you want to present yourself? And what have you put on put off, that maybe wasn't something that worked at one point in time, but now you can refocus and be who you want to be. And so I enjoy hearing those stories and being open to helping them build the excitement towards that.
The excitement again, right? Money doesn't have to be a bummer. It doesn't have to be this negative thing that I avoid or I'm embarrassed about. It can be something that you get excited for. You have a system, BOLD, BOLD. Can you take
Yes.
BOLD? What does it mean?
Well, break old limits daily. So just yes. So whatever it is that for you that you've limited yourself on, one step every day towards something that builds you, who you are and who you want to be and want to become. And so, whatever that is for you, if you've been putting it off, just one step towards it. You don't have to accomplish it all at once. You just need to take the step towards it. And for example, if you've wanted to reach out and talk to a financial advisor, but you haven't, guess what? You don't have to make the phone call. You can send an email. One step, and it doesn't matter what time of the day or night, just a step. If it means that used to love dancing, and I had a client tell me that they used to love dancing, and it's something that they've just put on the back shelf just when life happened. And so signing up for a class, doing something, signing up for the class is just the first step. Showing up to the class is the next. So, being willing to get out of your comfort zone and enjoy life, and enjoy who you are is, just make that one bold move every single day.
One bold move every single day. That's kind of where Pink Fix came from, Tanya. It started as a hashtag when we rebranded everything to pink. And it was, did you look at your money today? Did you do one thing to better your finances today? So it was, did you get your pink fix in for the day? And now it's Pink Fix Productions. Too. One small thing, we talked about this earlier in the show, the compounding interest of habits.
Mm-hmm.
Good decision making leads to bigger, better, bolder decision making, and it's a huge difference in people's finances.
Yeah.
It really does.
And like you mentioned about habits, it's not perfection. It's just being consistent on moving forward. And guess what? You'll get to the finish line at some point, but if you never take that first step, you never get close to what you're trying to achieve.
You're right. That was ringing in my head today. It was progress over perfection.
Mm-hmm.
Progress over perfection. Right? We tried to wait until everything is perfect. If we did that, we wouldn't have the show on tonight.
Exactly.
Progress, doing small steps consistently. I like that you said consistently. It doesn't have to be these big, huge shifts every single day. Small things consistently.
Yes, exactly.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Tanya, for talking about the new year, new you.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to this holiday season?
More time with my family. My brother lives down in San Antonio, so we'll spend some time getting down there and just spending a little time with him and relaxing.
Beautiful. Is there what about some family traditions? What are some things that you always do each year?
I don't know if we do anything each year, but I always try and come up with something fun. So one of the things that we did recently, it's been a few years, so it's about time to do it again. Which is, I love recreating like a picture that we did. All of us in the same.
That's so much fun. I never done that.
Yeah, so it's fun, to kind of see the progression of each one of us, and so it's time for that. So
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. I love that. I can't wait to see the picture. Thank you, Tanya Cleaver. We have your QR code here. Looks like you're going to get your year-end checklist, all those good things you talked about. Scan it. You will have it so you can execute and start 2026 strong. Thank you so much, Tanya, for being on Women Behind the Millions tonight. Wishing you a wonderful, wonderful Christmas.
You too. Happy holidays to everybody.
Happy holidays. All right, here you go. You can scan this and you can post. What is your favorite way to start in the new year? Is it the resolution? Is it your goals? Is it taking some time for it? Up next, last but not least, we have with us Caroline Tanis joining us here on stage. Hello, Caroline. How are you tonight? Ooh. Hold on.
It helps if you unmute. After how many years we lived in the pandemic, you would think. But maybe in 2026, I'll get it.
You're host of our own show, The Wealth Cafe. For two, you should know these things. You are in the media.
I know. You would think. I will get it in, we have 21 days left of the year. So 2026, I'll do it.
There we go. Welcome back to Women Behind the Millions. We have a very spicy topic we're going to be talking about. How about having an affair on your financial advisor?
Yeah. Yeah. What a way to end the year.
What a way to end the a little spice to your life for it too. You've been talking a lot on social media about when your life outgrows your current financial advisor. How do you know this is happening? When is that aha moment, and what should people be thinking about?
Yeah, it's interesting. The topic came up in my head as we were planning out for this episode because it's just been coming up in so many different conversations of especially women who are at these executive level positions or 7-figure, 8-figure business owners that are coming to me and they're saying, I feel like my advisor no longer understands me. There's so many things I see on social media or see you talking about that my advisor isn't bringing up with me. And so they start asking questions and they start poking around, and they're realizing from having all these different conversations and seeing things on social media that their financial advisor may have been a really great person when they started out. And it's not necessarily they're doing something wrong, but what got them to this point isn't what's going to get them to the next point.
Yes, I have somebody coming in tomorrow, and same thing. She has an advisor, perfectly nice person, no issues there, but not doing any of the planning work, especially for retirement. And I showed you earlier today, it's about $1 million of opportunity costs they are leaving on the table by sticking with this person. So in the end, what is going to be the best for you? And I personally, I switched accountants because of this. I kept bringing ideas up to the accountant. He kind of just kept shooing them away, didn't have enough time. And then I finally was referred to somebody who bring all of those to life, and it was like a $50,000 shift. $50,000.
Yeah. And that's not like a small chunk of change. And I think the phrase that you use that sums it up so well is opportunity cost. Like, look at what you could be doing with another $50,000 in your pocket.
Yeah, exactly. What we can invest in. The scholarships.
Right. That's a year of your kids' college tuition, especially if you're investing that now. I mean, that is money you can be putting forward to the community. That's ways you can be investing in your business. Like, so many different things that you could be doing. And like the fact though that you raised your hand and said, hey, something's not right here. And then to have that power to walk away and choose something else, I think is incredible.
Yeah. And for you, you talk about what are some of these signs for people that are thinking about, like, we're hitting an itch. Like, when should we start to scratch this itch? What would you
Yeah, so a couple of them that I frequently see, and it's going to look a little different for every person. And so a few of them are, hey, if you're constantly having to go to your advisor, and by that I mean you need to tell your advisor when big life events are occurring, right? They can't read your mind. However, you shouldn't have to go to them and say, hey, I think we should do these 5 tax strategies with my restricted stock units this year. If you should be communicating with them, hey, I'm getting restricted stock units this year, be able to hand over the documents to them, give them an appropriate amount of time to review it, right? We're not all magicians, but after an appropriate amount of time has passed, have another meeting with them and say, great, what's our strategy? And it's fair for them to also lean in and say, great, let's bring in our accountant, let's bring in our estate attorney, so you're working as a full team. But you also have the right person when they're willing to bring in other people work collaboratively. And so that's another reason too your alarm bell should be going off. If they're fearful of bringing in other people rather than being collaborative, that should be a big,
red flag.
Yeah, red flag alert in your head going off. Another one is if they're not also proactively reaching out to you. Something that I always ask throughout the year but also in annual reviews is, what life changes have occurred, what compensation changes have occurred, because sometimes we forget, right? We're humans, and you might then say, oh, I did get new RSUs in my stock compensation plan this year, or I'm starting to hear a buzz about an IPO, or whatever it might be. And you can open up that conversation and start the planning. But there's also that proactiveness coming from the advisor.
Yes. Okay, so more team approach. If they're scared of that, then they might not have the best strategies that they're armed with. Also, not open to feedback, which I think is another red flag. If they're very stuck in their ways and they're not open and adaptive to changing times, or proactively reaching out. We had somebody, do you remember one of our advisors, and she said one of the prospects said their advisor sends them a statement every quarter. And we're like, okay, that's the bare minimum, and that's the custodian legal responsibility to send that
That's
out.
automated.
It's not the advisor that's doing that himself personally. And that is literally the bare bones minimum of what they should be doing. But every person has a right to a financial review. If you're paying a fee, you have a right to a review.
Correct. That is the minimum.
Again, bare minimum, bare bones. Yep. Yes. What's your third sign?
The third sign I will say is if they're only willing to talk about investments. What I've seen, and I know you and I have had this conversation a lot, is that there are so many advisors, I will say especially those that are a little more older and stuck in their ways, that just want to stick to talking about investments. And we've really seen a shift in the industry where people are talking more about full financial planning. So this is looking at how does, I keep using this RSU example to go along with the story here, but how do these RSUs fit into how do we factor that into your estate plan? How does that impact your retirement? How could that then change things for paying for your children's college or a second home? Looking at things bigger picture rather than just being like, okay, cool, here's an investment, move on. And it's more work, right? It's more work to look at tax strategies. It's more strategy and thinking, and continuing education, I know, is something we are constantly at the Wealth Boutique and in each of our individual practices talking about and spending so much time on. But it's something I know we all care about and take the time to do, where so many advisors aren't doing this. But it's also the right thing to do by your clients, because when you're just looking at investments, you're only looking at a piece of the pie.
Small. And be like, well, I need to outperform. There's so much more money that can be saved, grow with proper planning. So again, that opportunity cost. I'm going to throw another piece in there, Caroline, and I'm curious your thoughts on this. I'm talking about when you're working with advisor. How about when you are the DIY investor? And sometimes, and I start to have women come to me where like, I need to fire myself because I'm too busy and I'm not giving it the time that it needs.
This is another big one I see, especially as you are growing in your career or your family. You are not meant to do it all. And I have a lot of women that will come to me and they will say, I'm so embarrassed. I don't know this. Like, I should know this. You're not supposed to meant to know this all. And one of the first things that comes out of my mouth is, I do this all day, every day. I read on this. I listen to podcasts on it because it's what I love to do. And it's also what we do all day long. So it's what the world we live in. It's similar to like, I don't go to a doctor and say, hey, I already know what I have on my hand here. Can you diagnose it? Because I already know what it is. Just give me the medicine. Where you're going to the doctor to say, hey, what's wrong here? And so it's a good sign to fire yourself when you, number one, don't have the capacity to do it. You don't want to do it anymore. And you also need to come to terms with yourself of, are you willing to accept advice from someone else? Because how many times have you gone to the doctor and they're like, hey, you need to work out more. And you're like, nope, that's not it. So if you're not willing to accept that advice, it's not worth it. But if you are a DIYer that's like, yeah, I want to be told what I need to do, I want to be given strategy, I want to improve, then it's a great time to start talking to an advisor.
And I would say, one more thing to add, if you're wondering, could there be more that I should be doing with my money?
Yes.
That is a sign that, yes, there most likely is, that you are not optimizing everything.
And another big question I get, especially when I'm doing a lot of workshops, is how do I find a financial advisor? Like, how do I find this person? How do I find this new person? And a lot of times I will say, like, ask for referrals for people in your network of who they like. And especially too, if you have other people who are in a similar corporate position or in a similar business as you, those are great times to ask for referrals. And when you are sitting with this person, number one, make sure you still do your due diligence on them, interview them, ask questions, look at their background, but also trust your gut. It's something that we so often forget to do. And so many times I hear, especially women that will sit down with me and they'll say, yeah, I worked with this advisor. I knew it right from my gut. And in that first instinct moment, I could feel it that it wasn't going to be the right fit. And look how much time I wasted and the opportunity cost if I had just listened to my gut. So when you feel that way, trust it and lean into it for both good and bad.
How many times, and I've gone through this too, you're like, they're saying all the right stuff. They sound great, they referred, high praises, great referrals, but in your gut, you're like, and you still go with that person, and you're like, yep, bit me in the butt.
And there's also, I think, the action that comes behind it. Like, back to the example you gave with the accountant, you were going to your original accountant and they weren't doing anything about it and brushing you off. So if you're trying to work with an advisor or an accountant or an estate attorney, whoever it might be, whatever professional, and they're not listening to you, like, ding, 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 it's time to start looking elsewhere.
It's sad because I hear people saying, I'm a small account for them, so it's like I should just be lucky I'm there. I'm like, and I hope that our clients, no matter what size they are, that we are grateful to work with them. We value and respect them, and we're going to give them the attention that they deserve, and they deserve our attention.
Yeah.
They deserve our attention. And that makes me really sad that they don't even like value themselves enough to want to be a priority for the people that they're paying, that they're investing with.
I think it's also too, we forget in such a digital world that there's people behind it. And something I love is that, especially in our industry, like we get to know our clients so well. Even like regardless of the dollar amount that they have invested with us, is like I can tell you, today I was talking to a newer client that I'm working with, and like I can tell you the details of her holiday plans, which I love. So I'm excited to then talk to her in the new year and say, how was the holidays with your kids? Like I know you were worried about this, and I know we were worried, like what happened? Like tell me how it's going. And that makes such a difference because money is such a personal thing to talk about. And it's one of those things that I love when clients share a little more because it really changes our relationship with them. And I know you feel this way too, is that we like to work with good people regardless of size of the account, and hope that they then feel that way in return.
Yes, very true. That hospitality, we want them to know, like, I am so excited and grateful to work with them. Like, I hope that energy comes across to them no matter where they are located, even though they're not here locally, no matter what account size they are, and that we would love to work with their family too and their friends,
Mhm.
and that they feel confident and comfortable referring us to
Yeah,
them.
I always think that's the best, is when you start to meet clients, family, and friends. And that really relates back to what you said before is, okay, how do you raise the red flag of, are you working with the right person? And sometimes it is hard for people to walk away from that person that, oh, my family's been working with them for this many generations. But we do see a lot of advisors that stay in the industry for way too long. And so sometimes it is time for a change, or that advisor left, so you got passed on to the next person. And it's okay to walk away and get that second opinion. And then if your family follows, like it's okay to change.
It is okay to change. It is okay.
It's okay
Well,
to have
thank
the
you so much,
affair.
Caroline, for sharing these insights. We have your QR code up here. It's going to lead them to knowing what to ask future advisors or how to look. What is that checklist?
Yes.
Beautiful. How are you spending the holidays this year?
I am going to spend the holidays this year reading all of the books. So if anyone has any recommendations, please feel free to send them to me. I have to hit a few more books to hit my reading goal for the year. I'm trying to get to 52 books. So I will be curled up with the dog reading, trying to hit that reading goal for year end.
Wow, 52 books. How many books are you at right now?
We're at 46. So I've got some work to do.
Yeah, like, what are the smaller books? Please recommend the smaller, under 500 page books, please.
Yeah, maybe even under 300, just so I can really
Yeah.
start getting through them. Like maybe, do children's books count? I don't.
Sure. If that's the case, then I am up there.
Yeah, then you're probably at like 200 at that rate.
That's amazing. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Caroline, for joining us tonight on Women Behind the Millions Holiday Edition. Wishing you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Yeah. Merry Christmas. Thanks, everyone.
All right. This will be the last chance for you to enter our giveaway. And those who are still behind the scenes, Cammie, Alyssa, Sarah, and Stephanie, if you want to join us as we do a recap of tonight that flew by. I didn't even give any bathroom breaks. First, I was a little nervous about that. Hey, Cammie. Hey, Alyssa. And Sarah, if you want to come back on, just pop on your video. I'll bring it to the stage. What were some of your favorite takeaways? I got to go through my notes of tonight's show.
I love Tanya's tip about checking your like auto payment subscriptions, all things like that, right? Because we just forget about it. So
We do. Yep. I had a couple in and they were talking about that. We're like, where's some extra money that we could find each month, because that's going to make a huge impact paying off your credit. Or I was just on a call with a client, and if he saved an extra $20,000 a year, $20,000 a year, it'll be the difference between 3.7 million and 5.7 million. He goes, oh wow, that's a big difference. I'm gonna go home and talk to my wife. and we're going to try to figure out where we're going to get that extra money. Even if it's not all of that, a little bit for it too. Makes a huge impact over time. How about you, Cammie?
I like Donna's part about the children going to different places in the holidays. I was like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you've gone through that. How have you been able to navigate it with your own children and giving them still a memorable holiday time? Oh, here comes Stephanie. Come on.
Well, we take turns, you know. I mean, I do what I can, but you know, it's just very insightful to hear Donna say that. I was like, oh wow.
And for them to just feel the love that you have
The
for
love.
them and being present with them, and not to make them. Mutual friend of ours were talking about, making somebody have to choose
Yeah.
between it and putting that guilt and pressure on the children, but just knowing, you're here whenever they're ready to celebrate. How about you, Stephanie? What were some of your favorite moments from tonight or takeaways?
I like the $1 Million Baby.
Yes.
I love that. So catchy and also very important. So that was my favorite part.
That was great. Yes. Everybody had such strong pieces of it from, what is your financial fitness? It's kind of like stepping on a scale at the end of the holidays. And it's like, it's not what we want to do, but we need a baseline. But we need a baseline to then build from as well. Caroline's the having a financial affair with your advisor.
Very insightful.
That's been a huge theme this year. I'm just going to continue on Amanda Stilwell with "It's not what you have, it's what you keep" of that money. Real eye opener for those of you who are transitioning into retirement. And what is that number I have at the end of the day? And what's the number I can pass on to my family or my spouse? So we talk about the widow tax. So when you pass away, it goes to your spouse. They pay about 30 to 40% more on taxes. And then the next generation pays another 30 to 40% more on taxes. So that's why the money keeps dwindling from generation to generation, where then that brings back to Veronica's point. When you do with life insurance, it's tax-free. So like, what are those tax-free assets that we can pass on? Do we hit everybody? That for a recap. And then for Alyssa's, very controversial, authentic AI, in-person networking, social media is not working like it used to work. And a lot of people are like, what? I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing, following all these coaches that are blowing up. Why is it not working for me?
Yeah.
No, it's not the same. Not the same. Amazing. Well, thank you, ladies, so much for joining me here as we recap tonight. I'm going to get home because it is snowing here, and I'm a little worried. My husband's like, well, you get to take out that pink Jeep Wrangler you have and see how it does. I'm like, okay.
We love the Wrangler.
Thank you, ladies. And Alyssa, who put all of this together, the graphics, the overlays, all of it, getting the links out. Thank you for putting it together in such a beautiful way. We'll be ending our broadcast, our first in-studio live holiday edition of Women Behind the Millions. Thank you, ladies, so much for joining us tonight. And we will be announcing the giveaways on social media very shortly, so stay tuned. All right, and that is a wrap, ladies. Happy holidays!
Happy holidays!
Bye.
Hey, money queens, looking to get your wealth to that next level, 7, 8, 9 figures? Follow us on Instagram at PinkFixMyMoney and at Women's Wealth Boutique for more millionaire money tips.